Hello there, YouTube. How the hell are you? My name is Vac, and we're here this morning to play some Marvel Strike Force. So welcome to Mortytown TV. Put on your favorite music, come on in, let's settle in, and let's get some action going, shall we? Let me just pull up the stream here. Let's settle in, and let's get... Should have muted that ahead of time, my apologies. So, here we go. Okay. We're just getting going. Pretty much just talking to the YouTube crowd right now that are watching later, because I don't think there's anybody here just yet. Nope, here comes my first viewer. Good morning, sir. Or madam. Here we are. We're about to get started, and the first thing that we're going to be doing is war. This is the exact moment that my alliance starts their daily war. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to check this out and get a lay of the land. I am Steve Rogers. Cool name, cool name. We've been fighting a lot of Gold 3 alliances lately, which makes me feel like we're probably right on the verge of getting Gold 3. Which we've got some new Mortys that are nice and strong, so maybe we can make that push. Okay, so we've got a shield officer in Flight Deck 1, which might be bait. We got another one in Flight Deck 2, which insinuates that either what we're looking at here is a team that's down a few members or possibly even a shell. We'll find out. All right, and then they got 3 stacked. But one thing, let me check 2 again. I didn't see any buffs. There were no visible buffs. Which implies a kill box at the top, right? Not even any buffs in the middle, which usually a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll put security and engineering directly under Flight Deck 2 so that it's protecting the outside lanes on the way down. But none of that. So these guys have got, if they have a kill box, it's buried deep, which is not a terrible strategy. But if that is indeed the case, or they got something that I feel like is probably less helpful, where they down here somewhere they've got engineering on one side and security on the other side, and that's, it's valid, but we tend to beat that setup a lot, so we'll see how it goes. But for now then, in the absence of any other information, I feel like going down Flight Deck 2 down the middle lane gives you the most options. Farther down the road lets you can swerve left or right, and you don't have as far to go. So what we're going to do then is we're going to take this bait and assume that it's not bait, that they're just down some people, and we're going to take this easy win here and grab this shield officer. So we'll call that out for the Mortys. Make sure everybody knows what's going on. And just to remove any doubt, I'm not going to do anything with Vac, but what I am going to do is I'm going to swap your view over and let you have a look at Baxos, which is my free-to-play account. I've been playing Baxos about as long as somebody's been playing Baxos about as long as Vac's been played. Here he is, and I took him over 5-6 months ago, and kept him going because I didn't want him to fall off, and we didn't have a replacement for him on the Alliance. This is my brother's account. So anyway, he's in Flight Deck 1. We need to go to Flight Deck 2. And just so that there's no doubt who I'm talking about, I'm going to go ahead and use my free-to-play account to knock out one of these autofill teams. Just one. I want to save them. There's some smaller Mortys in our alliance, and I want to save these easy wins for them for the most part. So I'll just grab somebody low and not very useful, like his Wakanda team, and we're going to go knock that out, and then we're going to get back to the big guy and get about our daily playtime. All right. So this should not take long at all. even for one of his weaker teams, this is a significant punch down. Like I say, I've been playing this account since, I guess maybe, this account's been around since about 4 or 5 months after release, tops, maybe 3 months. And it's been free to play the whole time, except for one Coulson offer that my brother bought a while back, just to stiffen up the war defense. But the rest of the time, it's been free to play. And at this point, most of the Coulson shards that he has, most of the Coulson stars that he's gotten have been from orbs, not that offer. But otherwise, yeah, he's 4 million total collection power, and has done okay, right? I mean, he's not keeping up with the whale account, but who would expect him to? So it's been a good account to have. It's been very instructive for me to play free to play every day, and so I have a little better idea of what I'm talking about. While we're here, let's go ahead and grab his milestones, which I apparently missed earlier when I was knocking out most of his stuff. We'll take this good stuff right here. Nom, 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 nom. And let's see, save the world. We're saving all energy purchases. We're not purchasing energy this morning, which is our normal daily habit, right? In fact, I made one of my first videos, my biggest video that's really had more views on YouTube than any, is about whaling out on a budget. And I strongly recommend that the first thing you do, first thing every morning, is buy energy. But we're not going to do that today, because at 8 o'clock tonight, my time, it's going to be double energy for those purchases. But there'll still be a few hours until the tick over to the next day. So what we're going to do is, in that window, we're going to purchase energy on both of these accounts for the day. We're just going to do it at the end of the day, not the beginning. And that way, then tomorrow morning, we'll get right back at it, and we'll be buying more double energy. And so we just want to get as much double energy as possible in the period that we have it. All right, what's he got in supplies here? A few things to pick up. Then we'll get over to VAC. We got some rating to do with both of these accounts. We've got Dark Dimension 3 to go through today, right? Hopefully we'll finish up a node. But who knows? Who knows? Only got 2 nodes and change to get done with Dark Dimension 3. Looking forward to that. I mean, I'm just going to start a second run, but still, it's that much closer to the end. As I have now memorialized on YouTube, I hate Dark Dimension. I've always hated Dark Dimension. I've never found it to be entertaining. I think it's a poorly designed game mode that is there simply to hold players up. And they go, oh, look, you got content. You know, yeah, it's going to take people forever to get through this shit, no doubt, but you know, maybe content that was fun would be better. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. So anyway, enough of that rant. We'll swap you back over to the big guy. Here we are. That flight deck 2 is already halfway gone. Our guys are hitting it strong. He's talking about my black. Oh, you can't see it anyway. I've got the chat blocked. All right, so we'll get back to that in a minute. All right, so on to VAC, who does have energy to spend. Well, we haven't bought any, but he's got some that he picked up from, well, of course, what he's accrued overnight while I was sleeping, and there was some energy that I got from the login calendar today. And so we're going to go spend that just to get us started for the day. Now, what I'm really hoping for is that today will be the day that I can see a 7 red star Thanos in the upgrade store, because I've got the upgrade tokens for that, and I'm holding off on it. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting to see it. It's coming one day. Not today, but it's coming one day. So right now, Corvus is actually ahead of Thanos. I haven't even finished Corvus yet. I still got one more T4 to put in him. And then at that point, I will have maxed out the Black Order team of everything except red stars, right? And then Corvus here will be the only 7 red star on it, unless I can find that Thanos upgrade. And then we'll work on it. We've got Obsidian to 5, Ebony Maws at 4, and Proxima's at 5 as well. And we'll be looking for upgrades for them too. I really want to take this team to the moon, right? I want to, and then I want to throw that moon on people. So this is the team that is keeping me ahead in an arena right now. And speaking of which, we do have some arena attacks to do. But let's go spend this energy first. But for right now, we're not spending any energy on, for never. We're not ever again spending energy on Black Order because they're done. So we're spending now our energy on city characters because of Dark Dimension 3. And we're almost to the end of it, but we still don't have a 5th city character to go with these others. So we're just kind of putting points into Carnage, and I don't know that he'll get there in time, but I'm just going to keep working on it. Of course, we're short on marrow extract. We always are, but there's always some catalysts to farm, and I don't think we're going to get a piece on them today. But we're just going to go ahead and grab as much of this gear as we can get, along with some chimichangas. Got him close. Still probably wasn't going to get a piece of gear, but it got him a little closer. Okay. So now we can go fight in the arena. So I did notice that this is unusual, but I got knocked all the way down to 7th overnight, which is highly unusual, but it's nothing that we can't recover from. So I'm actually going to milk this, and I'm gonna get just as a mini. Oh, this guy's new. I didn't realize that JP had put together. Well, he's not new. I know I've seen him around, but I've never seen him running a full Black Order, so that's new. Mostly what you're seeing from the guys outside of the top 3 to 5 is stuff like this. It's a Black Order kind of. I mean, it's not a Black Order. It's a hybrid of some sort or another. I really feel like he'd have been better off pulling that Thanos out of there and putting in Yo-Yo if he has her. But that's not my place. So I'm not really here to give those guys advice. Although if they log into the channel and want to take some advice, more power to you guys. More power to you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna attack JP and just get. This might be one of those rare days where I get 5 attacks in on arena. It almost never happens anymore. So we're going to go take this one attack at a time. We're not jumping all the way to the top. We're going to take one spot at a time, and we're going to milk as many attacks as we can out of this, because there's a couple of my stronger Mortys that are always kicking my butt in the World Warrior milestones, and I need to get back in contention. So we're going to hit this squishy side over here with Thanos' basic, which does so much damage. He flips on us, but of course we're going to flip back here in a minute, and he who flips last flips best. I think we can actually hold off until he flips for that buff. So let's get everybody flipped back. There we go. Let's pass around some offense downs. He's gonna throw a moon on us, and thankfully even without the defense ups, we managed to hold off on that. Although holding on the defense ups, as slow as Maw this might have been a bad mistake. But we'll see how it goes. We're gonna reapply the taunt. Hopefully Maw can live long enough. We're gonna throw a moon on these people. Got rid of one more of them. Here we go, finally. Now I'm going to apply my defense ups and my counterattacks, which I don't think I'll ever skip that again. That didn't turn out as well as I hoped. And the only reason I held off is that usually Maw and Thanos have disrupts on them, and this should kill Proxima. Usually Maw and Thanos have disrupts on them, and so they can't be buffed, and I just didn't want to buff partially the team, but that does really seem to be the way to go. So the power couple with their basics, and then now we'll drain some health, and it turned out okay in the end. We've kept everybody alive. This has been kind of a rout. So JP, I'm liking that I'm seeing you use this black order now. It's a great team. It's really what you should be doing. 420 isn't quite going to cut it. That was a 100K punch down for me. But man, good on it, man. That's a good looking team. That's a good looking team. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Looks like the Mortys are almost done in the war here. But ain't nobody pushing that one, so we'll come back again. No big deal. All right, so the next thing to do is check our daily objectives. Campaign missions, challenges, yada, yada, yada. One arena battle, raid, blitz, donations. Let's do donations. In fact, let's do it for both of them. Just pull that up right now. We'll get this going. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, so that's one little task out of the way. Moving on to the next one. I think we all know that's a big part of playing Marvel Strike Force, is handling daily tasks for the good of your alliance and yourself. So let's see, we got challenges, we got arena. That's pretty much going to leave us with raids and blitz. We haven't even started this blitz. Last night was my birthday, and I didn't really do any blitzing. I got on long enough to do my part in the raids. So I don't think the back's going to be able to do anything in this Ultima 7. Yeah, I've already cleared my lane, so there's nothing going on there. So let's jump over into the beta raid and get some progress made. So we're working our way up a bio lane. It's one of the better places to take this account. I got probably one of the stronger symbiote Spider-Verse teams, I guess is what you call it. I don't know. Symbioverse? I don't know. Symbiote teams, right? With a couple of Spider-Men thrown in. And this is a really strong raid team. There is no denying. Basically, any raid team with freaking symbiote Spider-Man on it is a strong raid team. Oh, you and your taunt, Riot Guard. It's cool, we're gonna live with it. This starts to get a little hard toward the end of the lane, but we're not quite there yet. All right, so we're going to jump out real quick. And they're done. All right, fantastic. So let's see what's underneath Flight Deck 2, shall we? And it's reactor, but it's not a kill box. That's odd. That's weird. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to run right through this. More than like, okay, so now it's pretty well certain that this reactor here that will not, excuse me, that's the security underneath it, almost certainly underneath it. Has to be underneath it. If it was to either side of it, we'd have seen it showing up on Flight Deck 1 and Flight Deck 3. So yeah, we're leaving that be. So what we're going to do is just punch right through this. And basically anytime they put a buffing room right here, so they probably got a kill box set up around their bridge is probably what's going on here. But anytime they got a buffing room right there, that's a good room to take out full clear because it opens up the map incredibly. It opens the right, it opens the left, it opens the bottom, and does everything but the corners pretty much. So that's where we're headed. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out which one of these two. We're not going to full take reactor right now. We're just going to move through it. So we're going to figure out which one of these two is the better option. Now, I mean, looking right at it, it could go either way. So what we're going to do is, and they can fool you by front loading teams, right? It could be that this guy right here, he's front loaded his two best teams, and after that, he's got nothing. I mean, we don't know, right? So the best way to actually determine this is to remember their names, Commander Liam and Captain. And then go back out here to the participation page and look them up. So Commander Liam is 4.8 million total collection power. TCP does not lie. And then we just need to find Captain, who it seems I've passed. There he is. Ah, come on. All right, so Captain is a little over 5 million. So what we're going to do is we're going to call Commander Liam. Oh, what was the rest of that name? 70. Commander Liam 70. Great name, man. Great name. Commander Liam 70. So we're going to call that name, and we're going to call it to clear and move down. So what that means is we're going to leave Captain alone. We're going to kill Commander Liam completely out. Then we're going to move down here to where security is, and we're going to full clear security. I wish it was engineering. That's the better one to full clear. But we want to clear the one that's in this critical spot. Because when we open that up, we open 3 rooms up, and we open a lot of avenues that we can make an informed decision on which direction we need to go, where the best place to be is. We're probably going to ignore engineering at this point and just take out full security. And that way, whatever room we're hitting, it's only got 1 buff, not 2. It's the better of the 2 buffs, in my opinion, but we'll push through it. We'll be fine. So that's the call, is reactor. Now, I could easily clear these teams. They're a little low for me. We got some new guys that are pretty strong. We got a lot of Mortys now in the alliance that are 5, 6, 7 million in total collection power, and I'm sure that they have some teams, including a mid-range like 300k in humans, that can clear that Hydra. So let's hopefully one of those guys is on now. If not, then we'll chat back later, and if I have to clear it to get the ball rolling, I will. But for now, we're going to leave that alone and see what the Mortys can do. And we'll get back on our raid. For me, it seems to always work out the best if I reserve my teams as much as possible. I really only like to spend them heavily on the bridge and the reactor. And then as much as possible, I like to reserve them until the last hour of the war and make a good, strong push. Because sometimes that can really win a close match for you. So moving on to the next node. We're still working our bio. We'll just go right at Bullseye. He's pretty easy to take down quick. Like so. Then Mordo, because of all the status effects. You know the drill. You know the drill. Anyway, hey, I'll be right back. 1 second. Okay. And right back at it. Okay, right back at it. Our symbiotes are putting in good work. These Greek raids at this point are not too challenging. So that makes me feel good that as more and more of the Mortys start getting up toward my TCP, that we'll be able to 100% this at some point in the near future. So anyway, hello if you're just joining us. My name's Vac. We're playing some Marvel Strike Force. Welcome to Mortytown TV. Come on in, put on your favorite music, get swifty.
Oh yeah, you gotta get swifty. You gotta get swifty in here.
So I mostly just autoplay these raids. Number one, because I can. Number two, because I'm trying to manage 2 accounts at once. And number three, just because it's not challenging enough to be fun anymore, right? I've just leveled past the content, essentially. Leveling past the content is a big reason why I'm even here on YouTube, right? The game was starting to get a little stale. I have to admit that the versus battle PvP really didn't reinvigorate me and make me feel pretty good about the future of the game. But by that, we've been beta testing that for a while. They ain't doing nothing with it, so that's starting to really kind of annoy me. Because I need that instead of Blitz. Blitz is really not holding my attention anymore. Most people hate Blitz, and I can understand that completely. I don't have to hate it because most Blitzes I don't have to do, right? Like I've got Ronan, we're on Ronan today. I got Ronan to 7 stars. It's very rare that it's a character that I don't have to 7 stars, so I can pretty much milestone and chill on all of them except the new characters. And of course I go real hard on Sunday night and Monday morning to get myself as many red stars as possible. Loading. There we go. There we go. I knew it would happen eventually. Right at Mordo. He seems to be our best bet. So we'll finish out this lane and we'll check on Commander Liam one more time. Yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man. Let's focus on Ronan. Try to get him dead before the stealth happens. Here we go. And there it is. I love when they do that right after somebody taunts. Like, Winds of Watoomb doesn't really hurt us so much. Not as much as it does some teams like Shield, etc. And that's a bit of an overkill, but we'll finish this off. Should leave us pretty close to the end. I enjoy the PvP. I get it I do it just for the fun of the moment. But yeah, I would rather have some kind of, first off, I mean, the thing where people would let each other win, if you just did matchmaking, that wouldn't happen, right? You don't want to put rewards in without matchmaking. There needs to be matchmaking. I need to be able to log in, hit join match, and the computer finds me somebody who will match me up against that's in my general weight class. And that's just the way it will have to be, right? It's probably going to lead to queues. They're going to have to figure out some way to do that, and I imagine that's mostly what's holding them up. But it would be a much better game for it if they could figure it the hell out. So in the absence of some PvP, I figured, well, you know, my brother and some other people were really saying, hey, you should stream. You're in the top 100. You should, you know, people will want to watch you play. And so I said, all right, I went with that. I've done some streaming in the past, and I did find it rewarding, right? So I thought, why not? Let's engage with the community. I've been playing this game for 2 years. I've barely talked to anybody outside of my alliance. Like, let's go get involved. So here I am. Ouch. So, hello and good morning. If you're just joining us, I'm back. You're at Mortytown TV, and we're playing some Marvel Strike Force. Right now, we're just finishing up a Greek raid, and then we're going to move on to the rest of our day. If you're new here, let me say...
Wubba-lubba-dub-dub!
And if you're not new here, welcome back. So I'm going to do the 50s and leave it at that, and then hopefully one of these Mortys can come behind me and finish up the rest of the lane. I think there's still a good bit of time left on this, so I might be able to come back later and finish the lane. We'll see. We'll see. But we're going to do one more, and then we're going to go back and check on the war. We got a war going right now, and we're really intent on seeing the layout of these guys' defense, essentially. What is this team? I took the wrong team in here. What is this? Ah. Okay. I wasn't paying attention. That's what I get for talking. Still, this team might pull it off. As basic as this content is, this team might pull this off. As mismatched as they are, we might just have Black Panther go off and just solo the whole thing. Actually, let's go there. Can do some good damage here with my 7 Red Star Heimdall. Start working on... We don't really need health, but we'll drain theirs, because I don't think they're going to do that much damage to us. Especially not that Thanos. So we'll reapply his taunt and kill that Mordo at the same time. We will... There we go. He's feeding a lot of energy to Heimdall. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Get an offense up and going on Black Panther. Yeah, they're not even scratching my Thanos, who is partially empowered. He's got a couple stones from Maw. So we will keep applying that taunt. That's going to be the main thing. I want them hitting Thanos and doing nothing. We want to get Vulture out of there. He's pretty good DPS. We're gonna play this one manually since I brought a shit team. Pardon my French. And so far it's working out. So far it's working out fine. And
Riggedy wrecked, son!
no problem. So, all right, that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4 nodes to the end. We're pretty much close to 60%. There's 6 hours left. I might pop in later at work and knock out those last few nodes if I get time. And then, of course, I'm done here with my lane in U7. So let's go check on the war. No progress. No progress. All right, so we'll give the Mortys a little bit, but if that hasn't moved any by the time I get done with the rest of my play, then we'll probably see about knocking out a roadblock and getting people going again. All right, so all we really got left now is Blitz and Arena. We're probably ready for another Arena match. I think it's been 12 minutes. It has. So now we're going to go after Flyby Draco in this hybrid team of his. All right, so I really don't want to hit Phoenix just yet, so we're going to get this right side, so that way we can get Black Bolt and Maw. We're going to make sure that Black Bolt catches this offense down for sure. I'm going to wait until Phoenix stealths to use my flip, so we'll hit that again, and put Thanos and Maw on a razor's edge, where hopefully some retaliatory attacks will finish them off. And then now Hela's used her ultimate where she spreads all those debuffs to us. Phoenix has used her stealth, and so what we're going to do is we're going to flip all of that crap. First, we're going to go ahead and apply some buffs of our own. Thanos will be back around in a minute. I hope this does not kill Phoenix. Just a bit. Now we'll apply a taunt. We're going to try to finish off Black Bolt. Not quite, but we got him stunned. So he's going to health drain us, which is just what he needed to do. Brought Black Bolt back from the brink, as well as Thanos and Maw. But now we're going to do the same to them, and then we're going to flip buffs here in a second. There we go. That looks good. So then this should probably kill Maw. Yep, there we go. We'll finish off Black Bolt with the power couple. There we go. I'd like to go ahead and get Hela out of here. So she was pretty much dead man walking, and so was Thanos really, but we want to get all these guys off the board before we kill Phoenix and deal with Dark Phoenix. Which this, pretty easy. These hybrid teams, these are people just doing the best that they can without a full Black Order, and I get that. And and this guy has taken this team and he's raised himself up into the high stratospheres with it, so you can't knock anything off of him. But it's just not going to stand up to a strong Black Order team. It's just not going to. They are the king of the mountain right now, undoubtedly. Which is why I'm leaning into them so heavy. And you can see that up here toward the top, like that number 2 is going to be Unclouded. He's got a 470k, and the number 1 is going to be Lucky, and he's got about a 450, 460k. Me and Unclouded both, we don't tend to sit at number 1 as much as Lucky does, because we don't, it doesn't mean anything until that last minute. So we'll come back in 12 minutes and we'll take another one, and this is going to be one of those beautiful days where I get to make 5 attacks in Arena. So that finished off my Arena challenges, and now I just need Blitz. So let's go get that started. We're going to milestone and chill. So beginning with just my crap teams, these are just randoms. Hardly any thought to this selection at all on these teams, to these compositions. I'm just throwing characters together that I don't use anywhere else, people that are basically bench riders, and I put them all together and I use them for the tier 1 and 2 and 3 of the Blitz, just to get myself through. This is all such, this is even for a team this crap, this is such a huge punch down that they're just going to roll through all of this and one shot everybody. So I just autoplay it until I get to the later stages. Nice. All right, so the next pushover team, as you can see, this is like what, 120k punch down. So even for these even for these crapola teams, they're going to handle it no problem. They're just going to get you through the early stages of the blitz, and you don't have to waste your good teams on that. And so I level these characters some, so that even though they're crap and they ride the bench, I put T3s that I don't need into them and get them up around gear tier 11 or 12, and just so that they have some strength to them, because that way they score more in blitz. I mean, this is just kind of nominal stuff here. I don't have a very good modifier. I'm just rolling through the early tiers, but you still want to score as much as you can. And the idea is that my first rotation, I want to end up somewhere around a couple million. At least 1 million. At least 1 million. I did manage to do a rotation at work on the Red Star Blitz yesterday, and I did get to like I think 8 million. I think 8 million, right about that range. Might have been closer to 9, but I think it was 8 and change. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to come up to, we're going to go all the way up to my hand team, which is like my first actual composed team. And then we're going to probably restart and do all these again to get us through the early stages. Then we'll move to the good teams. So we just target the most important character to kill, and we go right at her. Now my good old 7 Red Star Crossbones. He used to be vital. You couldn't win an arena match without Crossbones once upon a time. Oh, how the game has changed. So there's our hand team. And this should push us to 2. And then we'll run through the same rotation again to get ourselves to 3. And then we'll start our normal stuff. Yeah, I guess that one.
Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die. Come watch TV.
DD3 City. Yeah, there's no doubt that in my mind, having a good arena team is priority number 1, and having a good Ultimate 7 team is priority number 2, and then everything else after that, right? Like, the most important thing is those cores. You got to get those cores every day. So anyway, we have blitz charges to burn, so we're going to roll through this early part of my rotation one more time and get ourselves to tier 3. And I will admit, Thomas, that you've always been one of our stronger members in the Alliance, but your progress over the last 6 months has been pretty impressive, my man. Pretty impressive. Easy peasy. See, we're scoring 27,000 on a win. You get this thing up to 8-3, and you use my good teams, and it's 120,000. It's totally different. So this is just a building stage. We want to earn as many points as we can, so I have these teams jacked up to around 300K, but it's really not where the most of the points get scored, you know. I know if you're early in the game, you're looking at those scores on the blitz sometimes, and you're like, how in the hell? That can't be real, right? Nobody can score that much. We can. It's just all about total collection power. He who has the strongest teams faces the strongest enemies, and stronger enemies score more points. So there you have it. It's like a lot of things in this game. The rich get richer. So hello, if you're just joining us, we're just knocking out some early blitz tiers. Come on in, hang out, put your favorite music on, get swifty.
Oh yeah, you gotta get swifty. You gotta get swifty in here.
So we're just trying to get ourselves up to tier 3 to tier 3 in the blitz before we start using any even halfway good teams. Oh my God, that third node is murder, Thomas. I think I was on that thing for like 2-3 weeks, easy. It was murder. I hate Dark Dimension. You can argue you hate Blitz more. I don't mind Blitz as much. It's partially just because of my level of progression. I don't have to think about Blitz a whole lot. I can mostly autoplay the great majority of it. And I tend to score pretty well, so that always makes it better, right? I mean, Blitz is actually fruitful for me. And don't get me wrong, Dark Dimension will be fruitful as well, but it gives everybody the same thing. So it's just a matter of when you get there. And it's not necessarily like, I feel like you should, if you're early in the game, you should rush to DD2 and get that Ultron as quick as you can, because that will make a profound difference in your gameplay. But Dark Dimension 3, man, I mean, yeah, I mean, more gear is going to be great, but I don't know how much of a hurry I need to get into to do it. Well, Mr. Dapper, it's a pleasure to have you here, sir. Welcome to Mortytown TV. If you got any questions, you just shoot them out. If you'd like to talk to us off camera, there's a link to the Discord below in the description. You're welcome to pop on in. There's an Ask Vac channel. You got anything you want to ask me about the game that's not covered in one of my videos on the channel, you just throw it out there. And myself or a qualified Morty will do everything that we can to give you a hand. I do PvP. I love PvPing, but what I would like to see is an actual PvP game mode and not just a beta test, right? Like PvPing with friends and acquaintances is fun and all, right? For bragging rights, it's cool and all, but I'd like to see an actual game mode with matchmaking and ladders and a reward structure of some sort. You know, an actual game mode. That's what I'd like to see. But yeah, I mean, occasionally we do a little bit of versus PvP here on the stream if we have some time we need to fill. It's always fun. It's good for the audience. You know, I like it. And thank you for the comment on my roster, by the way. I've worked very hard on it. I'm glad you like it. What I've been doing is on our Discord channel, link below. When I get a character to where it's showroom ready, gear tier 14, etc., I go ahead and I post it on there. There's a channel you can just check out characters from my roster. Do I regret leveling up tunes that don't matter just to build my TCP? Well, no. I mean, here's the evidence right here, sir, is I use those tunes. See, all these tunes here, all these teams, those characters, they don't matter. Those characters, they don't matter. Those characters, they don't matter. All of these characters are benched. I don't use them for nothing but this. But I still raise them up to around 300K because I have a ton of tier 3 mats that I don't need. I only use them when a new character comes out. So I throw them into characters like this so that even though I'm only using them to get through the first couple of tiers of Blitz, I'm still scoring as much as I can in that process. Now, I don't really think of it as like padding my TCP so much. But yeah, it's helpful to raise those low characters in the bottom of your roster too, if only for Blitz. If only for Blitz. And blitzes, sometimes that's the way new characters are released, and blitzes can be very important. So I throw that in. It's part of my roster building. Well, David, just keep it up, buddy. You'll get there. I mean, it feels like just yesterday I was picking this game up and I had no idea what was going on. Well, it's just that it's mats that I do not need anywhere else. So Mr. Cabrera, if I wasn't putting them toward these crap characters, they'd just be sitting in my inventory doing nothing. So you might as well have that stuff doing something, right? I don't like Blitz either, and in fact, I don't have to do very many blitzes. We might not even finish this entire rotation today because I don't need Ronin. Ronin's been 7 stars forever for me. But we're gonna knock out the milestones, pick up the free gold and stuff. And there's some incentive to do this anyway because of chimichangas. I do want chimichangas. 70K away from 8 million. Well, you're no slouch yourself, sir. My X23, she'll be coming up in the rotation here pretty shortly, and you can get a look at the whole X-Force team. Yeah, I haven't either, Thomas. Like, basically, my strategy early in the game was I spent, as I've said and outlined in multiple videos and live streams, I spend cores on energy. I try to buy 600 cores worth of energy every single day. And I spend that energy now all on T4 gear. But early in my career, I largely spent it on character farming. I spent it on, first and foremost, the characters that I would need to get that next legendary I was chasing. But then after I got all the legendaries, then I just started raising characters that just, were just going to be handy. Any character that I could farm, I farmed to 6, and then I moved on to the next character that was the next most important to me. And then eventually I found myself in a position where all of my critical characters were 6 stars. So then I went back to the beginning, and all of the characters that I had originally farmed to 6 were either 7 already or close to it because I'd been opening up orbs. So then I finished off all of those 6s to 7s, and the next thing you know, I got a full roster full of 7-star characters. And it just sort of compounds from there. And now, over time, then it became more and more I'm working on gear as opposed to character shards. And now we're at a point where there are no character shards that I can farm that are useful to me. So it's all gear. But it's just like it's a progress. It's a progression. Frank, good morning, sir. Welcome back. David, that's a decision we all have to weigh. Right now, the featured character is, I think, still X23. So if you'd like to get X23, then yeah, you probably should go ahead and just open them now. If the next character is somebody who's going to be way important to you, then by all means hold them. But at your level of the game, man, more than likely you're just, there's so many different characters out there. You might as well go ahead and open them up and see what you get. Because there's a lot of characters you could potentially get that would be very useful to you, and you don't really know, like, is that next character going to be somebody you want to go after that hard? It's hard to say right now. So I don't know that I'd save. I'm not saving myself. Well, welcome aboard, Mr. Cabrera. Welcome to Mortytown. I'll check you out there later. There's a channel called Show Me What You've Got. Show me what you've got, and that is a place for you to post your brag picks. Let us see your roster. Let's see what you're working with. We may like what you've got. Oh, sure enough, here comes Kopachez. Came in with his 300k in humans and cleared that Hydra team that was holding us up in security, or excuse me, in a reactor. So good job, Cop. Good job. Or Cope. I don't know how that's pronounced exactly. I've known that guy for like a year and a half. So here we go. Let's see. What's going to be our best bet here? Looks like door number 3. So we got some progress going in the war. Good deal. See, we got some more people popped in. So good morning. Hello. If you're just joining us, my name's Vac. Welcome to Mortytown TV. We're playing some Marvel Strike Force. So, just remember.
Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die. Come watch TV.
There we go. Let's go ahead and... No, Captain America ain't going to let us finish off Hulk, but that's all right. All right, next is my Kree Ultimates team, which is just kind of a mid-range team for me. You can give them Captain Marvel and Minerva, and that becomes a very meta-destroying team. And in fact, I might do that when Hero Brawlers gets broken up. But for right now, I don't, which makes this team just kind of middle of the road. Yeah, I hear you, man. I get all the Red Star orbs I can get my hands on. There was a time there in the middle, like at first when Red Stars came out, I bought all the orbs, right? And then I started getting mostly dupes, and that was not really giving you much back then. There were no elites yet, so I stopped buying them, right? But when then they came back in and they reworked it and they made elites, then I started buying them again. And especially since they added the outside pillars onto the orbs, I have definitely bought every offer that's come along, and that has done a lot to supercharge my roster, no doubt. I still think that if you're on a tight budget, spending energy is the better way to go. Those offers can get pricey. You're talking about $100 a pop for some of those, but still, they're good to have. People ask me, how do you get so many 7 Red Stars? And it's like, well, I open more orbs than you. I got a little lucky, but mostly I just open more orbs than you. He who opens more orbs gets more Red Stars. That's just the way it is. So we're getting up toward that X-Force team. We're almost there. I buy them just to keep things rolling, keep myself in that top 100, because I know that all the guys that I'm competing with up there, they're buying them, right? I'm doing all I can. I'm wailing out a decent little bit, and I'm barely just hanging in there in that top 100. So it's stiff competition. And so long as it fits within my entertainment budget, this is where most of my entertainment money goes these days, because I'm not doing a lot of the things that I used to do, hang out at the comedy club. I got a comedy club down the road here. I used to like to go down there with a lady friend of mine and get some drinks and have some laughs. And no, we're not doing none of that no more. In fact, she works in healthcare. I barely see her. Yes, I mentioned that earlier in the stream, Frank. Absolutely. We're not buying energy this morning. Usually it's something I do first thing in the morning, but right now we're going to wait until later tonight when that event starts. Well, there's no doubt luck's a factor. Luck is indeed a factor. I know people that have bought most of the orbs and still don't have very many 7 Red Star characters. A Casino is a prime example. That guy does whale wars all the time. He opens tons of orbs. You'll be hard-pressed to find very many people who open more orbs than Casino. But ironically, for a guy who's got a name centered around gambling, he has not done well. Right? I was happy for him when he pulled that Shuri, but yeah. So I just got lucky. I get that. And I'm happy to capitalize on that luck. In fact, I keep buying Red Star Orb offers to try to get myself some more luck. But I bought the offer that came out last night, and I didn't get jack out of it, right? I mean, that happens to me a lot. So it's just progress. I opened all the Red Star Orbs that I bought, and I got nothing but dupes out of every one of them. And that gave me an Elite 4, which I opened, and I got a dupe, which gave me a little progress toward an Elite 5. And that's all I got from my trouble. But that progress toward that Elite 5 is noteworthy because Elite 5s is where I got most of my 7 Red Star characters. And even if I get a dupe, I'm working on an Elite 6. And then I even have credit toward an Elite 7 at this point. I'd love to open an Elite 7. How cool would that be, right? 7 Red Stars. That's a pretty good little roster of Red Stars. Yeah, see, what I do is I follow my own advice, and I tell people if you're going to spend money on energy. So I buy 600 cores worth of energy every day, but I also buy all the energy offers. So endless energy and mixed energy bundles and all of those, they tend to come with blitz charges and raid energy and stuff like that. And so what I do is I just let all that accumulate because I don't necessarily have to blitz all the time. So I'm not using up those blitz charges at a big rate. And so what that does is since when you buy them from offers, they'll accumulate over the maximum. They just pile up, man. They pile up. At one time I had like 80,000 and I've spent them down. Yeah, when I went hard on like the Unity Blitz and stuff like the Unity event and things like that. And I really, if I had time, I'd go harder on this one too and spend some more of them up. But I'm just working with what time I have. And also they keep throwing these blitzes at me like this one where I don't need this character, right? Aside from the small number of chimichangas I'm getting out of this, there's not much in here for me. We're here to just get the milestones basically. Yeah. I always go hard on the Red Star blitzes. That's the majority of the blitzing I do is on Sunday night, Monday morning. No doubt about it. So here's my team for my X-Force. I pulled 5 Red Stars on her and I filled that up, but I need those last 2 stars. It's pretty important. I'm considering maybe picking up some orbs for Negasonic and Domino, since I know they don't have a blitz coming up, because this team has turned out to be pretty damn good. So we're going to go hard, and then maybe we'll whale out a little to finish. I haven't decided yet, but they're turning out to be a real good team, man. They can take down Asgard. If you got them strong enough, they can take down Mercs. So they're going to be a pretty good war offense team. It's just that war offense is just not. It's not as important to me as Arena, right? Arena earns me cores every day. And then after Arena, War is my second favorite mode, and it does earn really good rewards. But, you attack 12 times. If you're fully attacking out, and I do every war, you're making 12 attacks. So that's just one team out of 12, and I've already got a pretty good roster of 12 teams to use that do fine. So this is going to be an upgrade, and I'm going to use them. But I wasn't real sure at first that I was going to whale out too much on them. I generally always buy the opening offers on new characters just to give myself like 3 or 4 stars to kind of have as a base to work from, a foundation. But these guys may be worth taking up to 7 stars as quick as possible. They've turned out to be pretty good. And I love that this ability on her does so much damage, but also goes through stealth. Plus, she lets Deadpool's assassination go through stealth. So this is definitely a team that can kill Asgard all day long. Yeah, I try to put in the full. I'm just trying to set a good example for all the Mortys out there. So 12 attacks, 4 boosts. And I don't really have anything else to spend my Blitz credits on at this point, so I might as well. I don't really want all of my Mortys going out there and buying a bunch of boost recharges and stuff. You know, like, if you have characters in there you need to get first, get the characters, right? I want you to build your roster. But for me, that's where my Blitz credits go. That's a little tank heavy, isn't it? Let's see what we can do with that. Let's see what we can do with that. I feel like if we killed America, they would not have any DPS to challenge us. Just all in all, a very low DPS team. In fact, I think we can autoplay from there. I'm gonna drop you for just a second, but I will not go far, I promise. Well, that's still a pretty good Deadpool, Thomas. That's still a pretty good Deadpool. And Deadpool is a useful character to have these days, especially if you got a Domino to pair with her at all, because he's unkillable. So yeah, let's let our symbiotes run through this. I'm going to check the war again real quick. Looking good. Looking good. The Mortys are moving the ball. Twerp's in there kicking some ass. Okay, we're up to 12 now. So hello, everybody. Welcome if you're just joining us. My name is Vac. We're playing some Marvel Strike Force. This is Mortytown TV. Come on in, put on your favorite music, and get swifty, eh?
Oh yeah, you gotta get swifty. You gotta get swifty in here.
Love my Mortys, Paul. Love my Mortys, man. Ain't that right, Morty?
For real times a million, buddy.
Okay, so who's a good matchup? They got a Captain Marvel, but that looks like a good matchup. You know, Frank, we got open recruitment right now, and I'm just fielding everybody that comes in. We brought in about 3 new Mortys here recently. I love a good run in DD3. I'm going to make mine here in a minute after we get done with Blitz. So anyway, we've been doing some recruiting. We've pulled in some good Mortys to we had some empty spots in the roster. We still have a couple of Mortys on the roster that are just extra accounts being played by other people, like Baxos, like my free-to-play account. And if a good Morty came along that was stronger total collection power, that wanted to play a live body, then I would drop the free-to-play account. And so the next guy that comes in, that's probably what's going to happen. But if we get an increased amount of interest from people below 4 million TCP, I am absolutely open to starting a second alliance and running it with Baxos and starting a cluster, right? I mean, if this thing really blows up, I mean, we're up to almost 200 subscribers now on the channel. And so it's way more interest than I was expecting, this early. I'm only about a month into streaming. So if this continues to steamroll, I can definitely see us becoming a cluster at some point in the near future. As far as my alliance, what we're looking for are people 4 million plus. But like I said, if we continue to get interest from people lower than that, then we probably will open up and become a cluster and, kind of have an American baseball style farm team or two. Yeah, I understand. We're all at different levels of advancement in the game, and so yeah, I mean, rather, you know, it's a very real possibility that we could start a new alliance for the lower collection power players, just kind of to act as like I say, like a minor league team, right? Somewhere that we can develop good young talent, right? So as interest increases, I can definitely see us doing that. And it's something that my officer corps and we've been kicking around and discussing. Because I feel like we especially a 2 million and below farm team, we could probably fill pretty quickly. I've noticed that we got a lot of newer players joining the channel, but we also get a lot of, you know, most of the well-established players that have been around for a while. They already got alliances. You know, they're not necessarily looking to move unless their alliance goes inactive. And I'm not trying to snipe anybody, right? I'm not really a scalper, right? I'm not trying to. If you've got a good, healthy alliance, I'm not trying to take you out of it, right? But if you need a home and you meet our needs, then we probably got a spot in Mortytown for you. And I think we could probably look into expanding that, but I don't know if I have time to do it. I might do it with Baxos, but I might also see if I can get a volunteer to run the second guild from our Alliance Corps. Yeah, I figured you had yourself a good guild or alliance or cluster, Mr. Cabrera. I mean, a guy at 7 million TCP generally does, or he would never have gotten that far. But sometimes alliances go inactive. Sometimes people outgrow their alliances. These things happen, right? So we put ourselves out there. I've been advertising on Facebook and Discord and etc. And you know, we take the people that seem to fit well. And as we haven't been full in a long time, but as we fill up, we're going to look at the possibility of a cluster. I'm actually pretty excited by the idea. But I guess right now I got so much going on. I just haven't gotten myself ready or prepared to do it yet. And you know, I might need a pep talk from Morty about it.
Well, then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together. And if you gotta take it somewhere, you know? Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. Okay. I don't care what you do. You just gotta get it together. Get your shit together.
Yeah, I can see how that's a good combination, Paul. Like Shuri added to anybody makes them a pretty solid team. Just adds so much sustainability. All right, moving on to the pun fenders. That's probably our best bet. Let's check the third one anyway. Eh. You know, I run her on. I still have a fairly good Wakanda, and I intend to leave her there. But mostly that's about my. I got a 6 red star Shuri. She's amazing, and I use the hell out of her in Ultimus 7. But I leave her on Wakanda because I also have a 7 red star Black Panther, and so he's pretty incredible when properly supported. And that requires Shuri. Yeah, I don't blame you. Sometimes, you know, you just got to make those kind of decisions. Like if you can make one team super and break up a team that was already kind of middle of the road anyway, that's not a terrible decision. And I used to make a lot of decisions like that early on, and toward the mid game. But now that I'm getting toward the end of the progression in this game, none of my teams are really suffering that bad. So there's no need to make those kinds of decisions. Now, I'll tell you who I put with Mercs was my 7 red star Kingpin. And that has worked out beautifully. Meh. Okay. So this is my brawler team, probably soon to be RIP. Which is sad, but you know, that does mean that my Kree team is probably going to get a lot better because I'll move Captain Marvel over to it. And Captain Marvel's incredible. Speaking of which, let's get her off the board first. Yeah, my Kingpin is 7 red stars, which means that the mercs that he summons are 7 red stars and are pretty tanky. And he adds an extra layer of assists, you know, because you got Taskmaster doing all that assisting. Well, Kingpin, he assists on, I believe it's villains, which all the mercs are, right? So it just adds a lot of assists to the team and a lot of free damage. And I love free damage. I'm a big fan. Yeah. So again, if you'd like to interface with us off camera, you can join the Mortytown Discord in the link below in the description. There's a place there to check out my roster, brag about your roster. You can hang out at Blips and Chits and just talk with everybody. That's our general chat section. You can go down to the Creepy Morty if you want to talk about stuff that's not safe for work. And if you want to post your funny memes, you can do so in Planet Squatch. Squatch! Let's get rid of Storm before she charges herself up too much. Definitely get that taunt going. And there's also an Ask Vac channel. If you got any questions about the game, you can post them there and we will do our best to get back to you with an informed answer as soon as possible. Free damage, Morty! Morty, I'm going to need you to take this damage. I'm going to need you to put it way up your butthole. I got to get that one programmed into my stream deck. I've been trying to add in funny clips from the show. As you've seen, obviously, if you've been watching this for more than a few minutes. A few of them I've had to pull off again because they were getting copyright strikes, but mostly, though, I don't think that they care that we use sound bites overlaid over a pic. Yeah, it looks good. So just as I get time, I've been trying to download sound bites and pics and add them into the stream deck and get them all macroed out. And just jazz up the presentation and the funniness of the stream a little bit. We're aiming for entertaining and informative. I know we sometimes probably miss the mark. I have my off days, but we've been doing this about a month now. When we first started off, man, it was just me and the webcam. There was no overlay. There was none of this going on. So I'm trying to get. I'm not a real great YouTuber yet, but I am pretty good at this game, which is what brought me here. Captain America. He's got to ruin my parade. I wanted to get rid of Hulk because he does a lot of the damage that I'm looking at on the field. But getting rid of Captain America would not be a terrible idea either because of his energy generation. Yeesh. A little aquatic kill animation there. Yeah, we're going to have to workshop some more Rick and Morty names, basically. We've had some passing discussion on it in the Officer channel, but we really need to knuckle down and discuss it further and start kicking around some more names. Morty Juniors is really not a bad idea, because it is topical from the show, right? My family, you know, they knew that I got off work late in the day, so they came over here late at night, and we had kind of a late dinner and some cheesecake. That was my birthday cake. For me, birthdays are not that big a deal anymore. I mean, since 40, man, I would rather just not even acknowledge them, to be quite honest. But it was a good time. I was glad to see my family. Ooh, that was a good Winds of Watoomb, but it did not get... Oh, they actually lined that up correctly. I can't believe that. Usually the computer is incapable of lining all that combination up correctly. That was like lightning striking right there, man. So now what we need to do is... Oh, no! No, we're screwed. We're screwed. This is bad. This is very bad. Okay. This is very, very bad. Oh my god, we're in trouble. We're all so low health, and we're all heal blocked. Can we turn this around? This is so bad. This is so bad. Don't kill Helen, no! Okay, well, it's okay though. I don't really care about the total score on this blitz. We're not worried about that. We're just farming up some chimichangas. We've probably already got all the milestones, in fact. We have. We're done. So we're just going to keep rolling. It was a sad day. It's a sad day for Asgard. I probably should not have pulled them in there against Supernatural. That was not the greatest matchup. Now, I'm fairly confident that Inhumans is going to splatter whoever we put them against. But let's go ahead and do Pun Fenders. Yeah, Supernatural messed me up, and that's exactly how Supernatural should go. And see, one thing is, I'm not confident. I don't consider them a good defense team because I'm not confident that the computer can really line up all of the abilities correctly. Somehow they managed it there. Doesn't usually happen like that. It was pretty amazing. It was like lightning striking. Okay, we'll spread some slows about. There we go. Now we'll start the AE Pain Train and set up Black Bolt to finish these suckers off. Piece of cake.
Riggedy, riggedy, wreck, son!
Inhumans is a team that I'm very high on. I really love Inhumans. That looks like the best Pun Fenders. Most of these teams should be able to take out Pun Fenders, even on 100k punch up. Okay, so we're going to roll through our rotation here. We're going to barrier everybody up. We're going to ability block Luke Cage so he doesn't defense up everybody. It's also perfectly valid to ability block Punisher so that he does not use his ultimate. We're going to save our big hitter, and we're going to knock a little health off Luke to help him go down in the barrage that is to come. All right, we survived that just fine. So now we're going to start our attack chain, and thanks to that ability block on Luke, they don't have any defense ups ready for this. And there we go. Such a great team. Such a great team. Now, every time I think of her, of Medusa, I think about, she's the one with the hair that moves, right? I think about that hair CGI that they did in the TV show. It was awful. So terrible. So terrible. And I got a friend of mine that was one of the actors on that show. And, you know, well, I don't know. I mean, there's a guy I went to high school with. I don't know if you can really call that a strong friend anymore. Like, we saw each other around when we were kids, but that was really about it. But I've talked to the guy on Facebook since. And he was always nice. He was kind of a preppy kid when we were young. But now he plays all these, like, gritty cowboys and Star Trek starship captains and stuff like that. Yeah, they cut her hair off, I know, like first episode. Which was cool because the animation looked terrible. Alright, so we want to point it at Luke before we use this ability. That way we're more likely to taunt the people we want to taunt. I think X-23 is the most important member of X-Force. I got to agree with all the other content creators on that. X-23 is really what brings it all together. It looks like she's going to be doing a significant amount of the damage. She allows Deadpool to assassinate through stealth, which is going to be pretty critical for taking out those big Asgardian teams. Just pretty good all around. Oh man, they all lived through Cyclops' ultimate. That's a new one. It is a big punch up. But they're not going to be able to kill Phoenix, man. I mean, like, putting Cyclops on this team really steals Phoenix's thunder, right? You got this Phoenix there. She's one of the best characters in the game. It's like having an extra person on your team. She does great damage in either form. But then, yeah, I mean, like, Cyclops does so much damage that even though he's, you know, a 20k lower, he steals her thunder. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Guardians, definitely. Oh, we've definitely got the ball moving in reactor now. Okay, on this team, I'm going to go ahead and apply defense ups to everybody. That's more important than summoning a couple of minions. Because we likely have got some big DPS coming our way out of Star-Lord and Rocket. So let's get them off the board. And S.H.I.E.L.D. is just one of those few teams that can get out here and get some actions done before those guys move. You know, most matchups that the Guardians see, the first two people to take an action are Rocket and Star-Lord. And that allows them to, especially if it's a player playing them, allows them to coordinate those attacks and kill one of the enemy team members before they ever get to move. But in this case, S.H.I.E.L.D. is just the king of speed. They don't have a lot of the glitzy DPS that a lot of other teams have, although Coulson helps. But they had a hell of a lot of speed coming out of the gate. What? And finally, my now 521k Black Order. This team is incredible. They can whip pretty much anybody you put in front of them. We're gonna try this team. This is kind of like an arena dream team right here, to some degree. I don't know about Taskmaster, but it's also the highest power team. You know what? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll roll right through them. Let's give it a shot. Just to finish off this rotation with a little panache. Then we'll grab our stuff, and we'll go check the war. And if we got nothing to do there, then we'll do Dark Dimension 3. All right. So let's avoid Phoenix. Go right at Magneto, and try to kill him at Hela. So I'm going to make sure Hela catches this offense down, because she's going to be doing her ultimate here in a minute. All right. I'm going to flip those blinds and flip all of those buffs. Juggernaut resisted me, though, so I still have to deal with this taunt. Nice. Love those counterattacks, man. Love those counterattacks. So it looks like I ain't got no choice now, because I flipped before she stealthed. Normally you'd want to hold the flip until she stealths, but I wanted to get rid of those blinds. So it was a 50-50 situation, right? So we'll have to go ahead and kill her. And we'll try to kill her again before she can do too much damage. She's not as dangerous against this team, because she has that ability block to start, so she cannot begin with the heal. She can't heal the team up. I have absolutely added something to them. I played some last night after I got home from visiting the family, and that was all off camera. And so not only have I added some T4s to this team, but I also got another red star on call out of the upgrade store. And that was pretty handy. There we go. So yeah, this team is like now 520k. Let's see if we get a snap here. Nope. Too much to try to kill Juggernaut that quick. But we'll wear them down with the power couple and get them out of here. So yeah, Black Order, 521k base. I'm looking forward to seeing what that translates into in war with the buffs. But that'll complete the rotation. That's the last of my teams. But you know, that took close to an hour, so there we go. And as far as I'm concerned, we can not touch that blitz again and we'll be fine. But I probably will mess around with it later just to get some chimichangas. Chimichangas. Love me some chimichangas. I mean, in real life, I absolutely do love chimichangas. And in the game, it's not chimichangas that I love so much as the orange gear that it gets me, because I need all of that. All of that. Okay. Basic orbs. Don't need that. Just a little more Ultimus orbs is all that is. But we got enough here to do 2 orange firework orbs and try to get some good stuff. Love it. Love it. And don't love it as much, but we'll take it. So let me see now. That's Blitz. That's all of our daily objectives. And then we'll be back tonight to buy some more energy. So let's see what's going on in the war. Oh, I finished the milestones a while back. The only milestones that I have left to do are the ones you get for opening orbs that'll give you more chimichangas. I forget what they're called. But those chimichangas can still be used to buy those firework orbs that give orange gear. That's really all I have left to get from this event. All of the milestone rewards, I'm done with all that. So let's see, we got 2 teams left in reactor. Neither one is really strong enough to get me in there, right? It's got to be somewhere around 350K for me to put one of my teams on it. So we might have to wait a minute, but there are some Mortys that can clear these, and we'll wait and let them do it. Because we're not at the level of competition in war where speed is that important. The war always takes the full 24 hours at this level, and nobody full clears, right? The good teams will get close, but really nobody's full clearing yet that where we're at. So it's really more about taking your time, focus firing, and making sure that you take down the most important rooms out there. You have to make sure that you get med bay, you get barracks, you get bridge, and you get reactor. Those are the big 4. And then after that, you just want to see how many rooms you can drop. So it's just a matter of assessing teams and picking out a route. Nick, good morning. How are you, sir? So we're not going to attack in the war right now. We'll just keep our powder dry, and we'll come back to it later. So that means it's Dark Dimension 3 time. So we've got 2 nodes left to do, and then we got 1 more full clear of this thing, and then we're done. Hopefully, they'll probably add a Dark Dimension 4 as soon as I get done, but hopefully not, because I would rather just never do this crap again. I am not a fan. So this is all the city characters that we have to gear tier 14. And we're doing okay, making progress with just, like I started off with just 1, just Symbiote Spider-Man, and he did okay. And then I added in Punisher, right? He was some help. Or no, I added in Ghost Rider and then Punisher, because I was just basically raising who I could, whoever I had mini uniques for, right? I had some Mystic stuff, so I raised Ghost Rider. I had some skill stuff, so I raised Punisher. And I'd love to get the other 2 symbiotes in here instead, but I just don't have the bio gear. It's just not happening. So let's go ahead and try to get rid of Rhino. Just 1 less tank to worry about. And then I'm thinking, let's get rid of Ant-Man before Wanda equalizes health. We'll apply some buffs to everybody. It's going to be real helpful here. Symbiote Spider-Man is ability block, but thankfully he has one of the best basic attacks in the game. So there she went. She equalized health. So now let's go ahead and wear Wanda down. She's the closest thing they have to a healer. And thankfully, Kingpin's doing a pretty good job tanking for us, allowing us to make some progress. So now there went Punisher, but that's cool. It precipitates a nice big heavy shot out of Ghost Rider for that. Let's go ahead and apply some bleeds. The best passive in the game, I'd have to think about that, Frank. There's some good ones out there. You know, I mean, you can almost take your pick off of Black Order. But yeah, I'd have to really consider that. There's a lot of good ones out there. Oh, just die for me, Jugs. Please, just die. Looks like they're going to kill Ghost Rider. Okay. We'll take this opportunity to try to kill Vision. There we go. I'm expecting... You know what? I'm going to hang on to the summons. We'll probably be done here in a second, and I'll save that for the next trip in. In fact, I'll just save all my good abilities for the next trip in. I would have used that ultimate if there were more people around, and I'd use the special if there was a nice cluster of them that I could hit. But there's not, so I'll save it. We'll come in on the next attack, and hopefully I can drop this Juggernaut before they kill me. No, but close enough. So when we come back in on this next attack, we'll try to get Juggernaut down, and Kingpin is not a bad character. I mean, partly it's because I had 7 red stars on Kingpin, so that helps. But having the summons is helpful. What you do is you definitely want a character in these kind of game modes that can apply defense up to everybody, and Kingpin can apply defense up and offense up. So he's pretty good in that regard. I mean, a lot of times you'll bring a Shuri or somebody like that into a node like this, almost purely because of the buffs they provide. And so Kingpin is a character that kind of gets overlooked in that regard, but he has one of the best buffs in the game because he does defense and offense. And that was it. I had so much skill gear left over after I did Punisher that I was like, all right, hell with it. Let's get Kingpin in here. He's a 7 red star anyway. I probably should go ahead and put him to 14 anyhow. Although it does look like that Corvus here is going to be my first fully capped out 7 red star character, right? I've got him to gear tier 14. I've got one more ability that I need to put on him, put T4s in, and he'll be full. I mean, like literally no better. 7 red stars, 7 gold stars, gear tier 14, every ability maxed. It'll be the best a Corvus can be. His damage certainly is not great, right? Kingpin, that's really not what he's here for. But what does scale with his red stars is the strength of his summons, and that's pretty important. So all of those mercs that he summons, they come out at 7 red stars. I'm going to continue to just basic until we get a new drop of some more people, which I feel like should be coming pretty quick here. I'm going to hold all these abilities, in fact. Maybe I need to... we'll go ahead and summon now. Cyclops is a good one, man. Like I say, he's so good he steals Phoenix's thunder all the time on my X-Men team. So now that we have these 2 summon mercs out here, that's somebody that Kingpin can start assisting on. Well, I'm sure yours can one-shot a whole team. Mine's only 88k, and he's amazing. Okay, so now we've got a big grouping. And looking at what we got here, we got a Miles. We got a lot of good damage characters. It's these Venoms that are scaring me the worst. I don't like Shocker. He's going to buff them up. But let's go ahead and let's start working on a Venom. And just working this whole team as best we can, right? We're going to jump right into the middle of that pack and apply all those bleeds that we can get in there. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, we're going to defense up and offense up everybody so they can withstand this damage. That offense up came just in time for Frank to come in here and wreck things. Now we got a nice little cluster to use Symbiote Spider-Man special on. All right, and let's just go ahead and hit that back Venom with this ultimate. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. But that hurt him too because he got the retribution shot from Ghost Rider. All right, so for basics, let's just go ahead and keep focusing on Venom. He should bounce around. There you go. I'm going to try to take that Shocker off the board. There we go. No, Miles. Not really wanting to kill Mysterio, but one good thing that Mysterio will do for you is when you kill Mysterio and he spawns those 2 more, you get your next drop when you get to a certain number of enemies remaining. That's when the new people drop. And Mysterio's summons count toward that. So if you kill Mysterio and he pops 2 of those summons, if you let them sit there, you can kill 2 more of these actual full-on characters, and you still won't get a drop until you kill those summons. So we're going to weaken these Venoms, and then we're going to try to get Mysterio out of here. Well, it really doesn't look like we're going to be able to affect much by the end of this. But there it is there. So now tomorrow when we come back, those summons won't be there. Mysterio will just be gone. So we'll keep working on the Venoms. That'll be our first project tomorrow, is killing those. But it looks like this is going to be all the damage we can do today. And again, I'm in kind of a rush because I want to get this over with, but only enough of a rush to spend cores once. And I'm not doing any more. It gets pretty cost prohibitive very quickly. Like the way Tadano Met Japan ran through this, the amount of cores he had to have spent on health refreshes is just sick to think of. And I'm just not that kind of rich, right? I'm a working class guy. I'm blue collar. I work in a factory. I make good money, and I have money to spend because I'm divorced and I got no kids, and I'm almost to retirement, and I got, so I got some money to spend, but I'm not rich. So I'm not doing that. That's not happening. We'll come back tomorrow. Those rewards will be there when we get to the end, right? They're not going anywhere. If we get through it faster, we're not going to get any more rewards than anybody else gets. So let me answer a question here in chat. That might not have been a question. That might have been a comment about the war. That indeed was. There is an Inhumans defense that we're facing here in Reactor. Okay. So yeah, anytime that my enemies want to put an Inhumans is really still just as strong on defense, but I prefer them on offense because they can. Any team that can hard counter meta defenses, you should probably have on your offense. Okay. So that's all we're going to get out of that. Let's see about orbs. Do we got any to pick up, or is this just all 4 milestones? And then we have 50 Ultimus orbs saved up and counting. 51. Okay, so there we go. Until we get someplace that I want to put an attack on the war, that really might be all the damage that we can do this morning, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know that I have any other content that I can do for you. We've gotten DD3 knocked out as best we can. And we're getting toward the end of it for sure. Looking forward to getting all that reward. We have done our raids. We've done our blitzing. So that's pretty much going to wrap me up, guys. So that'll be the end of Mortytown TV this morning. We're at the 1 hour 50 mark. We're getting toward 2 hours. So if you have any final questions you want to shoot at me, comments, critiques, concerns, feedback, I live on feedback. Let me have it, or put it in the chat or the comments section, and we'll address it. If anybody would like to make any requests or PvP challenges for the end of the stream, I'm certainly open to it. But if not, we're gonna go ahead and shut things down, and I'm gonna start getting ready for work and cleaning up the house a little bit. Just, getting swifty.
Oh yeah, you gotta get swifty. You gotta get swifty in here.
Oh, that's good, Paul. For a second there, I thought maybe you were confusing me for your nan, but yeah. There's my player ID. Put me on your contacts and let's get a fight going on. I eagerly await your challenge, sir. I would love to finish this off with a couple of PvP verse matches. So I see I topped 10.5 million. It might be time for me to make a new roster review. A shorter one, in fact. The last one I did was the first video I did, and I kind of went on a little too much. It's 2 hours long, and that's way too long for a YouTube video unless it's a live stream. So I'm going to endeavor to make a shorter, more concise roster review, probably as my next video. I might wait until I finish off Corvus and get this Black Order team in order, right? I want to see what they look like. I have the upgrades to get Thanos to 7 red stars, which is probably going to add another 8 to 10k to the team. And I also have enough. I don't know when Maw is going to come around, but I would like to put some upgrades on him as well. So, am I full? I didn't know there was such a thing as full. Like I only got 1, 2, 3, 4 contacts. All right, here's what I'll do. Yeah, I got 4 out of 100. I'm not full. 4 out of 100. Maybe is there something where I don't know. If you want to put your player ID into the chat channel, sir, I'll add you myself and we'll see if that works. I might have it blocked. Let me look. I think I might have here we go. Allow contact request. There we go. Okay, try again, sir. My apologies. I actually had unchecked that long ago when I was getting a staggering amount of recruitment requests that I did not want, right? And so people were hitting me up 2-3 times a day with that, and I just wanted to put the kibosh on all that. Oh, I want that Szechuan sauce, Morty. That nugget dipping sauce, Morty. That is what I'm doing. That's my character arc, Morty. If it takes 9 seasons, I'm going to get that Szechuan dipping sauce, Morty. I love that shit. I love that shit. Oh, it's such a great show. Such a great show. Okay, so we'll try this again. Player ID 9624397. I should be good to go on allowing contacts. I don't know if there's a delay on that or what. Ah, good man. Thank you. All right, so that's a contact request from Dapper. Let's do it, sir. Let's do it. I assume you want to do classic draft, or would you prefer balanced? I'm game either way. I agree. Classic would be nice. We both can show off our rosters. Okay, so Dapper gets the first ban. Looking at that, man, that is a beefy Cyclops. Oh my God, man. That's incredible. You got a 7 Red Star Mantis. Holy moly. 100K Wolverine. These are some good characters, man. These are some good characters. 6 Red Star Coulson. That's dope. Shit, yeah. Unofficial eating records. I like that, Thomas. They love that here in America, man. They make it official. They put your face up on the wall and everything. You get a free meal. A lot of places will do that. So let's see here. Who's he going to ban? He's going to ban Mr. Sinister. That's probably a good call. I can do a lot of good with that character. And Thanos. Don't blame you there. So then I'm going to ban first and foremost that Cyclops. And I think I'm going to follow that up. I'm going to follow that up with Phoenix. Just to knock out your 2 strongest until I get an idea of how you like to draft. So he gets the first pick. He takes Black Bolt. I am going to go with Yo-Yo. And I'm going to follow that up with an Ultron. Now 2 picks to him. Mr. Dapper Dan. I don't know if that's actually your name, but that's what I think of when I see Dapper. Okay, Captain Marvel, good pick, great character, great character. Okay. And a Loki. That is interesting. All right, then I will follow that up with a lot of good choices here. A lot of good choices here. But I'm going to go with Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight to put the married couple on the board. Final 2 picks for Dapper. Well, Thomas, it's a great place to vacation. I don't know if this is the best time, but you know, when things settle, yeah, you should. All right, so he went with Coulson and Hela. Great characters, great characters. And so for my final pick, I'm going to add in a lot of good choices here. A lot of good choices here. I will go with Ebony Maw. And I will reject Black Bolt. Because I'm mad that I didn't get him. All right, broke up the power couple. Got rid of Proxima Midnight. So that... Now it's on Dapper's pick. He goes with Colossus. Great pick. Great tank. All right, so I will go with... yeah, I think I'm going to go with Symbiote Spider-Man. I also have cousins in St. Louis, Thomas. I also have cousins in St. Louis. So if you ever go to St. Louis, let me know and I'll meet you there. I'm actually not that far away from it here where I live in Louisville. It's just a few hours west down the road. It's like one highway. You ain't even got to turn at any point. So, okay, let's see here. First attack's on me. I think I'd like to start off working on Loki. Oh, he weaponized my Corvus. That was rough. Oh, my gosh. So he's taking Ultron off the board immediately. Good shot, man. Good shot. You got lucky getting Corvus on that. It's like the worst possible RNG for me. All right, so we'll throw around some defense ups. Clear that side of the board. Let's see here. I'm just gonna pass around a little damage. Nice, nice. Okay. Drain a little health. I don't know who Jim Cornette is. Musician? Definitely got to get Captain Marvel out of here. She'll wreck me if I let her heal up. So, good game. Good game, Dapper. You want to do 2 out of 3? That sounds great. Let's do it. I got a few guys in my alliance that are around your power level that I do this with a lot. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I look forward to the day they make an actual game mode out of this. That's going to be incredible. And it's going to be fantastic content for the stream. That would be the niche that I would love to fill. I'd like to be the PvP guy, right? Okay, okay. Yeah, it's a lot of people around here. I live in the vicinity of many folks. Some famous, some not. All right, so again, I think we're going to do the same bands, it looks like, because I also am scared of that Phoenix and that... I'm scared of that Phoenix and that Cyclops, and I don't want that Cyclops hitting the field under any circumstances. Absolutely, sir. None of us really gets a whole lot of practice with this because, I mean, like we were all playing it a lot at first, right? And we were getting red stars for it. But since then, it's really tapered off. I mean, the play test really should be considered done at this point, and they should get their damn act together and make a mode out of it, man. I mean, come on, Scopely.
Well, then get your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together. And if you gotta take it somewhere, you know? Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just gotta get it together. Get your shit together.
I really wish you'd let me play with that Sinister. Man, if that Captain Marvel of yours had 1 or 2 more stars, like red stars, like you might have really put me in the bed on that last one. That could have gone bad. That started going real bad. The way you gacked my Ultron right off the bat, mwah, beautiful. I love to see it. X-23. Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Okay, so I am once again going to try to put you in a spot. What I like to do is, right, like you're looking at Yo-Yo, you're looking at Ultron. Both of them are characters you'd probably like to ban. So I like to put you in a spot by putting the power couple in here. And then also you'd like to ban one of them because they're really good together, right? So I try to give people, you know, just way too many characters that to ban. You can't ban them all, you know. It's one of the areas where like a wide roster of great meta characters is very useful in this game mode. And I see he pulled Maul on me. He knew I was going to be my next pick. It's a great character. So that was good drafting right there, Dapper. That was great drafting right there. That put a kink in my plans. So this time I'll have to go. A lot of good choices here. A lot of good choices here. This time I think I'm going to roll with my man Sam. And I will once again shelve that Black Bolt. Because that guy's dangerous. I never want to see a Black Bolt on the other side of the field. Ever. Alright, so you got my Corvus this time. Good call. Good call. Probably was a better call than Proxima. Who's he going to pick up? Mags. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. I don't have a great counter to that. So I'll go Minerva. My biggest concern here is I'm kind of low on DPS. Oh, no, not my Minerva. I'm so glad you didn't get to use that Loki ultimate. That's probably was the best possible outcome from that opening salvo. All right, so we'll add a little speed bar. I'm going to try to stun Magneto because I don't want him to use his ultimate. A little strafing run with Sam. Didn't do much. Didn't do much. I was hoping for more DPS out of that. But this health drain might finish off Magneto. There we go. Oof. I'm low on deeps. But it's 100k punch down, and Dapper is a hell of a guy for taking it on, you know. You got to give him all the credit in the world. This guy ain't scared. Damn fine roster he's got too. Better than most, for sure. Next time we do this, Dapper, I'll let you play your Cyclops, okay? Not today. I need to wrap it up, start getting things ready for work. But I'll be back here for those of you still hanging around watching. We're streaming twice a day for most days. Sometimes I'll take a morning off or an evening off. But we're streaming here twice a day on Mortytown TV in the 9 o'clock hour, AM and PM. That's Eastern Standard Time. So those were great fights, Dapper. I appreciate you. I appreciate you letting me fight you like that, man. It's great content for the stream. It's a lot of fun, and we sure appreciate you, man. That's a great roster you got there. Keep pushing. You'll be in the top 100 before you know it. So that's pretty much going to wrap us up for the day. I want to thank all of you for riding along live here on Mortytown TV. We sure appreciate you. And if you're on YouTube watching this later, thanks so much for watching all the way to the end. You're incredible. That's great. That's good for our analytics. If you can give us a like or a subscribe, that helps get us out there and get more people's eyes on the channel. And we're not monetized. This is a hobby for me. I'm not trying to make any money, but I would like to get out there and interface with more of the community. And watch this thing grow. We're going to grow this channel, and we're going to grow this beard, and they're both going to be glorious. So thank you all so much for coming. Until I see you again, be cool, keep gaming. I'm Vac, and I'm out of here.